In terms of the first blueprint, that was released in 2010, so nearly a decade has passed. We saw some great investment and some great initiatives as a result of the first blueprint. We saw enhancement of career development services, career counselling services, and Northern Futures took a real lead role in that. Particularly noticeable, I guess, with the closure of Holden's and helping with career transition support for employees of that organisation. Some of the difficulties that have been encountered have been around probably community engagement and investment in linkages between industry and people, the current workforce, I guess, and both the potential workforce. How do we build up those skills? How do we make people more employable in the north? How do we assist people better with career transitions? The main focus of government policy direction now is around traineeships and apprenticeships. The Skilling South Australia Fund is certainly making a significant investment in that area around apprenticeships and traineeships. The difficulty with that, I guess, is it makes a whole range of assumptions. So it assumes that people have capacity to be employed. It assumes that people are ready to be trained for new jobs and new initiatives. It assumes that organisations and industries are ready to take on apprenticeships and traineeships. I think the difficulty is if we make those kind of assumptions with significant policy decisions with a one-size-fits-all approach, we end up with a whole range of unsavoury and probably unintended consequences. I think we've got to do a lot more work in the north around matching policy decisions and matching investment with what the community needs. That will only result from community engagement and linking better with the community and finding out what will support them better in improving their employability. For the challenge, I guess, around community engagement for the north is around, we see pockets of at-risk communities, I guess, is the best way to describe them. Not necessarily geographical pockets as such. There's certainly those in the north where there's high rates of unemployment and really low rates of labour force participation. So there's geographical pockets that need to be targeted and more creative and innovative ways to engage with those individuals. You probably see generational unemployment in some of those pockets as well. There's also pockets around cultural needs. There's also pockets around gender and age. So I think we have to delve into the data a bit and discover how we can engage better with those at-risk communities. What that essentially means, I guess, in terms of engagement is looking at new and different ways of consulting with those people and working alongside those individuals. And Northern Futures has had a great reputation, I guess, in terms of trying to reach out to those individuals and supporting them. Not assuming that they have the skills to be employed immediately, that they might need some assistance to get to that level. Not assuming that they have the skills to be trained immediately and providing supports to get to that level. The consultation process needs to operate the same. We know that there's growth in a whole range of industries, and we know that supply won't reach demand in terms of workforce. The National Disability Insurance Scheme is a great example of that, and there's certainly been investment from state government and federal government in terms of developing a workforce for the future. We know that we need to improve the employability of people in the north to provide them the best opportunities that they can have in terms of increased social and economic participation. We know that unemployment rate has been high in the north and we need to improve that. Some of the workforce required for the future needs to come from the existing people living in the north. But if they're not work ready, not training ready, someone needs to be supporting them to participate in the workforce. I see that as a key kind of outcome of the future blueprint and what that might look like.